Okay, rulers, settle down. Ruler School is brought to you by Odyssey Games, where you can go to get singles for all your Force of Will and other trading card games, as well as these amazing patrons. Thank you for your support. Class is in session. Hey there, rulers. Welcome back after a long week of Force of Will to office hours. But if you have some questions that you need answered, you've come to the right place, because right now it's your favorite live Force of Will podcast featuring myself, Demo73, and I'm joined by the beautiful, the possibly glitching out because his internet isn't working tonight, Mike Rance.
That's me. Hello, glitchy boy coming at you.
Just a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. Obviously, if you like what we're doing, we invite you to consider clicking that subscribe button and giving a thumbs up and being active in the comments. We are reading it for tonight. And then always, if you consider wanting to support the channel financially, you can click that join button down below. We are trying to get to 100 members. That is our next goal. So we are currently at 82. So if you want to help us get to 100, we will get that Lumia emote, which will be our next unlock, and it goes to get you all kinds of perks on the channel, including things like participation in our monthly Discord tournaments that are free for prizing, being able to participate in the podcast, getting your decks doctored, all kinds of stuff. So consider checking that out. It's like a Twitch subscription, but it's YouTube's version of that. We appreciate it, and you get access to all these wonderful emotes. For the person who won the last giveaway on the teachers last week on Wednesday, we emailed that person. So if you did not get emailed, you did not win. So with that being said, we're kind of in this weird set release has been long enough away that we don't really have much else to talk about the new stuff. Like, we've kind of talked through all of our opinions on that. We also we're not close enough to start spoilers for the next set. So we're kind of in a little bit of a lull. And so to that is a good time for us to do a little fan week. So first off, Mike, how you doing tonight?
Doing good, man. Doing real good. It's been a nice start to the week. Wish my internet wasn't fucking up, but you know.
Yeah, it happens.
What can you do, right?
It happens. I'm doing well here. We're getting excited, getting some new upgrades for the channel, specifically a new camera, which will also mean that Paul can get a camera as well, so we can maybe start recording some live stuff over at Paul's place a little bit easier. That's all stuff that's made possible because of the members on the channel supporting us. We take all the money and we funnel it right into the channel. So that's exciting. That's exciting stuff. And then we're also working on some cool projects revolving around Gate Ruler, which is another game that I Spy is connected with. More information to come on that soon, maybe even a teacher's lounge about it. But, you know, got some cool stuff going on. And I've also been spending the entire week building Genesis decks.
Yep.
The Genesis is the singleton format that only uses one ruler and doesn't have color identities. It was recently kind of brought back by the European players, and so we decided to give it a try. I like it. Mike, have you tried Genesis out yet?
Have not tried it. I've been so much on the Epic Stories train that
Sure.
It's just kind of like, you know, I played Epic Stories with the guys, but I feel like I should try Gen now. Although no ban list has me terrified.
Yeah, so it's a little bit. So the current ban list is just Ragnarok and IU. And the main things about Genesis, for those of you who don't know, is it has to be 60 cards. Starting life total is $4,000 instead of $8,000. Your stone deck has to be 15 stones, and it has to be singleton. So that kind of helps keep a little bit in check, because your stone base, unless you're playing a monocolor deck, is going to screw you over at least once per game. And then there's no color limitations, and I would say I actually kind of like Genesis for deck building a little bit more, having now built 4 decks in the span of a week, because Genesis is because it's only one ruler. Genesis is a lot easier to build towards, because you're not thinking of like, oh, I have these 2 rulers, how do I best support them in color? You go, no, this is this ruler's gimmick, how do I best support that ruler's gimmick? So it's more like traditional Force of Will deck building, but in singleton. So
I do wonder about the 60 cards rule though, because I know that Epic Stories is kind of like 60 card rule was a little bit focused on the fact that you had like more rulers, more life, more. They took that from the idea of Epic Stories and turned it into something for Genesis too. Because I'm always a fan of like 40 card minimum deck formats, but also like I understand why.
sure, yeah,
It's interesting.
there that I think kind of supports the idea of no ban list is keeping it to a 60 card list is because also like if you're 40 cards, think of how many cards. Sorry, think about it this way: a 40 card list when you have no color limitation. How many cards in Force of Will do we have that are one drop that are draw a card? You could probably build like 75% of that deck of 40 cards to just be cantrips. And then like the consistency of getting to your like degenerate combo pieces is pretty quick. So with 60 cards, I think that limits it a little bit. Like, okay, you're not just going to be drawing through
Unless you're
your
playing
entire
Fate
deck in
Sing.
2 seconds. Sure, but
Unless you're Fate Sing.
sure, unless you're feasting. To quickly go into some chat things here, Toby, I don't have the red gloves anymore. The gloves with the red face, the OG gloves. Those are actually purchased by a longtime fan about 3 years ago for his brother, who was also a fan, as a gift. So like, I sold them after I had upgraded to the green ones as like a memento to a fan who really wanted to get him for his brother. So I don't have them anymore. Are we doing that swag tour? I'm not gonna do the swag tour tonight. I do, however, if you haven't seen it before, there's this very large book back here. This will be my swag for the night. If you haven't seen it before, there's this very large book. That is a comic book. There are 2 in the world of this comic book. I have one, and Dennis, who was on the podcast last week, has the other. Thankfully, CCG Prime helped me in obtaining this from Rob. It's been something I've had my eyes on for a long time. There is never before seen Force of Will artwork in this book. Artwork that never made it onto a card. Artwork that literally was created just for this comic. And I own it. Ha! So there's my swag there. Why did they take IU and Ragnarok banned? Those were banned because, yeah, they have no downside for being a singleton deck. They're already singleton. So, like, it was designed to make it so, like, no, you need to play a deck that's limited. Ta-da. We gotta get on making a new set of gloves? What? I don't understand. I don't need more gloves. There's no need for more gloves. Let's see. Yeah, I have the artwork right now. It's on 0. There's Mars artwork, Soul artwork, Faria artwork, Valentina 3 artwork, Possessed Valentina, Lumia artwork, Faria Priscia, like Beast Faria artwork, Gilapis artwork. Like there's Lilius Petal artwork, literally artwork that's never been seen is in the book. So one of these days I'll come over and I'll like open up all the pages, but it's huge. So there you go.
Big comic.
Yeah, big comic book. It was used at some conventions to advertise the game. So I did have some things that were brought up at this. So one of the things that we noticed we go tonight's kind of like essentially a just chatting kind of stream. So if you have any questions, literally about anything, Force Will related or not, I guess, feel free to ask us because we're just kind of hanging out tonight and talking about anything. I do have a couple of things that were brought up in the Facebook community that I'll go through really quickly. First off, go enter the OLS if you aren't already.
Yep.
Cal works really hard on that, so you need to participate.
Give Cal money.
When are GPs going to happen? I don't know. I don't have control over that. Whoops. Apparently Matt Seymour thinks that his children should be named Lilius and Lumia. I mean, those are nice choices. If you had to pick Force of Will names, like those are nice choices.
Lily Seymour.
I don't know if I don't know if Lilius is the one. Lumia, I think, is a very pretty name. Like that to me is a very pretty name. So like
Valentine is the best one though.
it's not. You're wrong, but it's okay.
All right, Mister. My daughter's named Alice.
Yeah, from the story, not from the
I
foul.
know.
Um,
It would have been funny though.
so, we were asked about my thoughts on the JPK's recent meta-analysis list. So he posted an article on Foul Library, which honestly I do think is a good article. I think if you haven't checked it out, fowtlibrary.com, he does a post talking about some of the recent implications that we've seen coming into the meta because of the new set, cards to kind of watch out for, and how things are being reshaped in terms of difference from last meta. I don't disagree with him about the cards that he says have really made an impact. Like Almerius, I think, has a very big impact. Institute has a very big impact because of that like cheap, free instant speed being able to really hit the graveyard without being targeted. Like there's a lot of stuff there that really gives a shakeup. I'm not sold on his tier list being accurate, but I also don't think tier lists are necessary right now. Like I don't think tier lists matter. Until we Mike, maybe you can argue with me about it, or if you agree. I just don't think tier lists matter right now until we get a GP schedule, and let alone we're about to have 2.5 and 3 released probably before the next event. So like a tier list right now means nothing. Would you agree?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Although I do think that when you're doing your testing, you should know what decks to look out for.
Oh, sure.
Like,
yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
Prepare
I think
for everything. Even prepare for like the easiest way I could talk to people is like to get prepared for when GP season, when, if, whenever it comes back. Learn every single matchup, even not just the tier 1 matchups. Because if you just focus on the tier 1 matchups, you're going to get bodied by something like, I don't know, Wolfgang FTK.
Yeah, for sure. I think that the tier list in terms of the lists that he puts out is good to know in considering like overall current strength of things, but in terms of like putting stock in like, oh, this is absolutely the best deck, or oh, this is what I need to be able to play, that
complete fallacy.
Doesn't matter right now, right? I also think that he put Almerius Grus Ballesta at tier 0, but if you actually look at the deck, I would consider it more to be like a tier 0.8, where like it's probably on the upper echelon of tier 1, but like
I don't even believe that Grus Ballesta Almerius is the top deck. I'm pretty sure Featsing is a much better partner ruler for Almerius.
Yeah,
that's
but
my opinion too.
But yeah, exactly. It's more of a like when you look at it, like you can see the strength to it, but it's not like the perfect strength that like Rezard was doing, right? So like when we think about Rezard tier 0 status, it was this completely uninteractable, like always could pivot, always could recover like deck, right? And that very much made it a tier 0. I look at like Almerius Grus Ballesta or even Almerius Feasting now from what I've seen of lists, and it's not presenting the same kind of threat. Like it's not like, yeah, you're never going to be able to stop me. I'm never interactable. I'm always going to be able to pivot. I'm always going to be perfect. Like it's not trying to play the same game state that Rezard was. And so I think it naturally becomes more of a like a healthier top deck in the sense that like you can build to answer it. You can interact with it. You can be able to prepare for it. You can disrupt it. So those are my thoughts. Mike, would you agree? You think Almerius Feasting is a little bit better, but that same kind of sense, right? Where it's not just like this overarching, oppressive, can't beat it kind of threat. It's just like it's a good deck.
I think it's the deck that has the most capable answers to a lot of the other threatening decks, and I think
Sure.
that's a big deal because there's a lot of like we talk about how explosive a lot of these decks are, how explosive a lot of these combos are that happen really early on. Featsing is the most consistent way to stop them. And
Yes.
I think that's why it has such a high strength. It's defined by the meta.
Yes, agreed.
It's not meta defining, it's defined by the meta.
Agreed. And we've talked about that before, how this meta, I think JPK's like tier list is a good indicator of this. It's like a tail chasing meta. Like as the meta evolves, the meta's going to shift, which means the meta's going to need to evolve, which means the meta's going to need to shift. So like what's at the top is always going to be kind of in this rotation of what's popular and what's successful, and that's just going to keep shifting. With Resard, it was just like,
here I am.
here I am, do it. So I think those are kind of my thoughts.
I think the big secret behind why Almirius Featsing is so good is that it's very, very like a jagged rock paper scissors kind of format, where you have Featsing Almirius at the top, which is a really good stopgap for explosive decks. Just for example, Wolfgang FTK over here. But then there are value decks, like mid-range value decks over here, that destroy Featsing Almirius, that get bodied by Wolfgang. And that's just kind of, that's the thing. It's just like one deck will be the other. But
it feels...
Wolfgang is definitely Wolfgang and those explosive combo decks are definitely like the stopgap of what's the word I'm looking for? The gatekeeper deck.
Sure.
And I think because it's such a strong gatekeeper, it's going to make the meta more and more mismatched in terms of that rock paper scissors. But it still exists.
Yeah,
it's still there.
Yeah, for sure. I would agree with that. Paul needs a set of gloves. Doubtful. That Paul's gonna get those. Toby's asking you, Mike, when's the second video for custom card creations being made? What a perfect time for your internet to be wonky with a question about for you. We'll get back to Mike when his internet decides to come back. Zigai, you're welcome. We are happy to support Force of Will during these hard times. First off, I don't necessarily think we're in hard times. I think we're in growing times. But also we're not gonna go anywhere from Force of Will.
Hard times.
Yeah, the world is hard times, but for sure. We're not going anywhere. I've been doing Force of Will content for 6 years. I'm not leaving until the company announces that Force of Will is officially canceled. I will be producing content for Force of Will. Correct. But yes, Mike, your question is, when are you going to do your next custom card creation video?
Yes, my internet tried to stop me from telling you this. It was very mildly on hold while I was staying at my parents' house, dog sitting while they were out of town. But it is coming. I need to get through and figure out how to edit them because everybody sent in rulers, and I'm not going to be very happy about that because I need cards to review, not rulers.
That's
not
fair.
Concepts.
That's fair. Not deck building concepts. Give me cards. Yeah, that's very fair.
Yeah.
Ugh. I'm trying to think. Still think Resard is goodish. Still think Resard is goodish. I don't think Resard's bad. Resard didn't lose any tools. Nothing was banned.
Resard's very good against Featsing Almirius.
He just has more things that can answer him now that he can't interact with. Turns out being able to have a card that instant speed lets you for 0 will, instant speed lets you not target your opponent's graveyard and remove everything is pretty good. Against a graveyard deck.
I've heard.
Turns out. Who would have thought?
Seems pretty decent, yeah. Who would have thought? Not me.
Wouldn't have thought about it.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? I will notice that I saw a couple. I was made aware of a couple buyouts today, which I would be interested to hear your thoughts. First off, apparently every single copy of the 6 Sages Stone was both foil and non is gone. Bought off of TCG Player. And also Welser has vanished. Yep. The new Welser.
Let me put on my shocked face.
Yeah, no, it doesn't surprise
Stone
me.
Is the best. That Stone is the single best card Force was printed in the past 3 years. Don't tell me I'm wrong. That card's insane.
Better than Kaguya?
More universally used than Kaguya, I'll say that.
I will concede that point. I will concede in the sense of that stone being... I think it's probably the best stone ever printed.
Yes.
I think
that's
hands down it's the best stone ever printed. It will never be not the best stone ever printed.
Other than a mono wind stone.
No. He can still protect his graveyard, though. I wouldn't count him out totally. He can't. Not against... Rezard can't protect his graveyard against Institute, because Institute doesn't target. It just says remove all cards in your opponent's graveyard from their game. So he has no way to protect it. It's like Athenia. It's like 3-drop Athenia. She just says, "Whoop!" Get rid of all of them. So that's... Yeah, it's gone. I see myself wanting those stones in every deck. I mean, I just have a play set of 4, but yeah, it's a good stone. Suya got bought. Suya got bought out. 2 copies are listed for around 50. I'm surprised by that cost of Suya. I think Suya's good, but I also think that as Rezard has shifted out of the meta, Suya will be less good. Because
I've said it before. I will reiterate the fact. John Paul has told me I'm wrong about it, but I will stick by it. Suya is an okay card.
Yeah, I think the thing that made Suya so good is the fact that... Whoop, hold on. Okay. I hope it says I haven't dropped any frames. YouTube was telling me that my connection is good. Are we still here?
Yeah,
okay.
I don't see a problem on the stream right now.
Okay, great. Sometimes YouTube likes to tell me that it's not. I think that it's good. I think the fact that the thing that made it so good in Rezard is that he could cast it from graveyard off of Scythe.
Yeah.
Like, that's
just it's free will.
RFG a card. Like free RFG a discard spell. I think Suya is good, don't get me wrong. I don't think it's $50 good. Especially now that Rezard's out of Rezard is shifted downward.
Right? I don't think it's $10 to $12 good.
Like I'm gonna look up here's a good indicator, right? I'm gonna go to Foul Library. Let's look at John Paul's list that he considers to be tier 0. He's running for so he's still running for Suya in that. But you can't search it. I guess you can send it to the graveyard with Mikage Raya if you want to get a discard out of it. This JPK list is weird. I do agree that being able to hit additions is good. We are definitely in a format where addition removal is important. But we're also in a format where it's very easy to spit out a crap ton of stuff really fast.
Yeah.
At which point Suya hits less viability. So it's kind of one of those, again, good $15 to $20 card. I don't understand 50 other than someone trying to buy out and reset the price, right? Buyouts happen, people try to reset. So I don't know. That's my thought.
Somebody's gonna play Suya against me. I'll be like, okay.
I think Welser is kind of the same way. I think that Welser's. I think Welser has more. I think Welser has more application than Suya, for sure. I have a hard time seeing non-foil Marvels going for more than 20, just across the board.
Yeah.
In price point wise, so that I think that Saga Clusters.
Somebody just said Magic Crest of Darkness. Nobody's playing Magic Crest of Darkness.
Get out of here. I like the fact that the Saga Cluster. I'll hear your thoughts on this, Mike. Saga Cluster rulers to me, Saga Cluster Marvel rares feel, in terms of not only an application but in terms of cash value at what's not buyout price, where Marvels feel like they should fall, right? The first round of Marvel rares are all dirt cheap because they were printed to oblivion.
Except for Kiki. Oh wait, no, Marvel rares.
First round Marvel rares.
Thank you. I heard first Saga.
Yeah, no, I think that Saga 1 and Saga 2, if this is where our Marvel rares sit value wise, I think that's really nice.
Yeah, agreed. I just have to have people stop overvaluing bad Marvels and undervaluing broken Marvels.
Dekarab. Absolutely no clue how I got here. Bought a few booster boxes tonight just for collecting purposes till after the world stops burning and came across this. Welcome! You've come to the #1 Force of Will YouTube content creator in the world. Hello!
Welcome!
This is Ruler School. We're glad you're here. We get to stream worlds when it happens. But we're a good place for all kinds of...
come back here and you can see a bunch of people with cardboard.
Yeah, we can sling cardboard all the time. So cool for buying a couple boxes. Which boxes did you buy? I'm curious. And but we have all kinds of Force of Will content here. So welcome. Glad that you found your way here. Thank the algorithm, I guess.
Thanks, algorithm.
Yeah. I'm gonna Toby constantly tempts me to put him in timeout with these freaking trying to make me Kage tier 0. Like it's
Listen, man, the boy can try.
A boy can try.
He's persistent.
I do want to look up something real quick about next set because I think I gotta look at the YY stuff. I think our ratios are changing for set 3 in terms of like how many rares and super rares have been printed. So 1 second.
Interesting.
I have to look at the like breakdown here. $1 Force of Will playmats. Pre-order reminder, pre-release kits. This might have what I'm looking for. Nope, that's not it.
Jeremy, can I show the Kiki Man on stream?
Sure.
Was that a yes or no?
Yes, you can. Go for it.
Okay.
Kiki streams.
Kiki stream.
Yeah, Kiki Man. That is an adorable Kiki Man. Look at that Kiki. Kiki's in the chat.
That's a good Matt.
Kiki's in the chat.
Kiki Matt. Kiki chat for Kiki Matt. This was done by Fuchsia Art, who we're thinking of having do all the Deepwood artwork. Nice. Scott's girlfriend. She's wonderful. She just made this for us out of nowhere, which is really nice.
Cardigath 9, $1 Force of Will playmats. They're like old Seven Kings of the Land, like buy 3 box playmats that YY Card World still has in stock. They send out messages just to kind of like clear out inventory sometimes. Okay, so yes, Mike. So this current set had 26 rares and 19 super rares, I think. So that was Saga 2. Saga 3 has 15 rares and 15 supers.
Interesting.
So that's a big decrease in rares and a big decrease in supers. I'd be curious to think your thoughts about whether this is going to mean potentially a shift towards fewer boxes for a playset.
Yeah, it definitely is, from what I can tell.
I mean, other than Marvels. Sorry.
Yeah, the only thing is that, yeah, obviously it's going to. I assume it's going to still be 5 Marvels, which
it is still 5. Yes.
Yeah, so I think with that in mind, I'm pretty sure instead of you needing like 3 boxes for a playset ish, like 3.5, I'd say, it's probably going to shift more towards like the 2.5 mark, and I think that's really nice because it means that with a case you get 2 playsets and then extras to toss. So if you and a friend go in on a case, you have more to push into the community rather than having to buy another one on top of it. So I don't know, the numbers make a lot of sense for the secondary market, which I really like.
Dickarab, keep the channel up on YouTube to watch list then. Yay! What great, awesome. Welcome.
1 Battle for Adder, get 2 Curse of the Frozen Casket. Nice.
Solid sets. Those were super solid sets. Fun to open, fun to play. We actually did a pre-release, like a pre-release of Battle for Adder with a kit from CCG Prime a while back. That was a lot of fun. Oh, by the way, CCG Prime is doing another giveaway tonight. We're giving away a Panda starter deck.
Hey!
Pandas!
Woo! Pandas.
Cardigath, sounds really cool. I want those emails. Been looking to get back into Force World. So Why Buy Card World is a distributor. So you can't order directly from them if you're a player. I get those emails because of my connections with the company so that I can help push like pre-order stuff, and then I kind of work with my store on that stuff. That's how I get those emails. But unfortunately, like, it's not something that you as a person on the street can just order from them. Sadly, sorry. So, I mean, they did hit a home run with this ratio set. Why change the ratio? I think it's to push people being able to have more full play sets with more boxes. I think or less boxes. I think it's this idea of quantity. Like, if you convince people that they don't have to buy a full case to get a play set, more people would be willing to buy 4 boxes. Like, it's easier to convince people to buy 4 boxes than 6. And so we're kind of shifting back towards that world. And that was a big draw when Force World first started, was like, buy 3 boxes, have a playset done. And so, like, as we start to rebuild the community again and get more people in and get new people in, pushing back towards that of like, buy X number of boxes or half a case, have a full playset, is something that is there. Okay, Dan, CCG Prime has a buy list now, so if you're looking to pick up cards, or if you've got cards that you need to trade in, you can just go to ccgprime.com, and they have a buy list there where they will pick cards up off you, and you can do it for store credit or cash, and slide singles around that way. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, and set 2.5 is out at the same time, so that might have something to do with it. The trick will be to find out whether or not you get. I would hope with 5 rulers, we're still getting 2 rulers per box. I think the community feedback has been very much 2 rulers per box is great. And I have been pushing that news to my connections within the company of, like, even without tag rulers, 2 rulers per box is well appreciated. You should keep to that. And I think that's very likely that we'll see that. I mean, in the past, we have had 2 ruler per box boxes in sets that have had just 5 rulers, right? That's not uncommon for Force of Will's history.
Yep.
So it's not like
talk about Curse of the Frozen Casket.
Exactly. Curse of the Frozen Casket was a 5 ruler set that had 2 rulers per box. Like, so going to that ratio is not something that FOUT's never done before. So I imagine we'll still see that.
I do like the fact that in the past they did the with 2 rulers per box. 1 ruler was non-full art, 1 was full art.
Yeah,
that was a really nice little distinction back in the day, because it was just kind of like, all right, I wonder which one I got. Ooh, and that means I got the other one is going to be a full art.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's the fact that they've moved away from having non-full art rulers. Obviously, it's nice just because it's like, if you have the ruler, you have the ruler. It's whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There was a nice little distinction back then when we had the 2 rulers and 1 was full art, 1 wasn't.
Tell them we want textured cards again. It's on my list of feedback to give. When this is a good topic. So for those of you who don't know a little bit of the history, I think it's been long enough that I can talk about it now. My second trip to Worlds, I was initially offered, like, at that point in time, I was well connected with the company to the point of, like, being friends with EG and, like, being known by the staff and stuff. And I was invited to kind of be a consultant for the company. A bunch of stuff happened that fell through, but I maintained those connections. And I think that maintaining those connections has led to me being able to do things like streaming Worlds and stuff like that. But one of the things to note is that my influence, I try to be a voice for good in the community, like a voice of the community for good to the company. However, being a white dude trying to speak to a Japanese company, and I don't speak Japanese, and I'm not raised in that culture or anything, I have to be very, very careful with how much I push and how fast and how often. So textured cards right now, I mean, I'll just be blunt, super low on my, like, trying to push for list. And I also can't speak to like, oh, I know for a fact that they did this because it was something I told them to do or anything else. Like I don't claim to know that or anything else, but I can say that there's correlation between suggestions that I have made and things that have happened. 2 rulers per box being one of them. The DBV Ubers being participation promos being another. Like, so hear me that I hear you. The textured foils are nice, and that Mike Rance is going to leave me. Know that there are other things on my list that I think I'm trying to push for a little bit better. And over time, that's something we can try to push for. I don't even know if it's possible for them to do textured foils anymore, to be honest, because they've changed printers so many times. So like,
yeah, the printing company is a big deal.
That, I mean, same with Ubers, right? Like, they printed Uber promos, but we don't know what the printing process looks to get Ubers in packs anymore. Like, we don't know what that looks like. So, you're heard. I gotta pick my battles. That's what I have to say to that.
Yep. I mean, it's happened. You're not just like some rando who's just tossing ideas at the company. You are like a corporate vessel for them to reach out to the community. It's like if people are saying, "Hey, can you tell them to reprint another Valentina? I want another one of those." It's like I can't tell them that.
Yeah, no. All retro is fun. Heck yeah, Foul Rocks. Yeah, if you're wanting to get, that is a good point, Rustin, for all the new people who are joining us for the podcast tonight. Be sure to check out the link in the description to get plugged into the Ruler School Discord. Whether or not you remember, that's a really great community. We've been growing pretty fast there, and so it's a great place to get connected to players and maybe find out if there are other players in your area, play games on webcam, set up trades, discuss things. Like, it's a great resource, so check that out. Let's see. Going to try to grab a Rage of Relay deck. FOW has limited options in the UK. Yeah, that's the red. That's the Gnarly deck, right?
Yep, that's Jarl. Yep.
Her Lunya.
You're right. That's Jarl. Nope, that's Jarl. Well, it's Lunia / Jarl at the tap.
Yeah, Lunya into Gnarly.
Oh, cool, we got 2 UK players. All 2 of the forcible players in the UK are in the chat right now.
Joshua Mostart trying to bet people that they won't join as members.
Jeez, are you all going to take that bet? I bet you're all not going to also become members of the channel so we can get to 100. So we can get the Lumia emote.
Who would come to a $500 Wanderer Nationals qualifier? I'd stream it.
Probably Dennis and nobody else. Anyway, who said that? Not me. Anyway.
So let's talk about it. Let's talk about a few things. Again, questions in the chat. If you have any questions for us or topics that you want to hear about talking about us or hear our opinion on, let us know. That's what tonight is all about. This has been fun though. You guys are really active in the chat, and I'm really appreciating that. It makes
Jeremy, we should do one of these streams where you and I both review these custom community.
Heck yeah, dude! I'm down. I'm down for that. Next time we have a chill day, we'll do a Ruler School custom card review for sure. Absolutely, that'll be fun.
Decorab wants it because it's Lovecraft inspired. Wait until you hear about the new set.
Hey, so Magic Stone War 0 literally has an entire archetype of Cthulhu's and a Cthulhu ruler. We've done it. We've done it. I'm trying to think about if there's just I mean, it's just a chill. It's just chill. Yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else that's kind of been going on. We're waiting on spoilers for the mini set. Okay, so here's a question, Mike.
Conqueror works too.
Yeah, anyway. Conqueror works too. So here's a question for you, Mike. Currently, S1 rulers: Ragnarok, Obrozuki, Mikage, Welzer, Celesta, Lilius, sitting at around 50 to 70 on the market, right? Right around, as far as you know.
Yeah, not that much. For the most part.
So with the S1 reprints coming into the boxes of mini set, what do you think those are gonna drop to price wise?
12
12s?
on average, I'd say. I'd say 12s on average.
12s?
Because I think a lot of their staying power has been based on the fact that they are hard to find, but not super meta competitive right now. I think
Sure.
they've been beaten out by S2 a little bit. So I think with them being more plentiful, they're going to drop harder than we expect them to. That's my opinion.
I know I'm going to have 9 that I don't need. So
they're going to be going back into the community, bud.
So Toby, sets are coming smaller. Will they continue to print them? No, it's a mini set of 25 unique cards and a full set of 100 cards are being printed at the same time. The rarity ratios.
You've got basically a Vingolf.
Yeah. The rarity ratios. Yeah, it's like a quarter Vingolf essentially. The rarity ratios of the new set 3 are shifted. In terms of fewer rulers, fewer supers, or fewer rulers, fewer supers, fewer rares, more normals. But we all know how normals have been doing lately in Force of Will, so that's great. But it's still a full 100 card set. Like, it's still a full set. We don't know whether or not there are alt art or regulars.
I'll take a bet and say they're regular arts because more art asset means more money.
Yeah.
Very easy to tell sometimes, I think.
So let's see. Oh, I was asked to talk about lore. So here's to kind of catch us up. Starting at the end of New Valhalla, just at the story so far, as what we know. New Valhalla, Loki, Neo Ragnarok, end of story. Everything blows up. Because Loki is Loki. Ooh. Then we jump to the Alice Origins cluster, which Alice Origins cluster is like the story of how the regalia came to be made and how the 7 kings became the 7 kings. Which means that it is the prelude to 7 Kings of the Land. Like, it's before that happens. And now Saga Cluster, we jumped from that story to a story we've heard about but never seen, the Battle of the Dragon with Ragnarok. And it's another story we have heard of but never seen, the Magic Stone War. And then set 2.5, we see returning characters, the Rebirth of Legend. And we see a character in the artwork of set 2.5 that appears to be one of the rulers for set 3, Invasion into the Demonic World. The Demonic World is not a story we've heard of but not seen before. And it's also very weird to me that we're having this set 2.5 character also appear in set 3. I think we're done being back in time in terms of stories. I think we're on to new stories. That's my speculation. Mike, I don't know. What do you think?
See, I don't follow the lore very well.
Sure.
All I know, though, I see new characters, which makes me very happy because as much as I love Forceful retraining their same characters, I want to see new ones. I want to see a lot of new characters. I want to see things I've never seen before. And it's just...
I mean, assuming the character in the middle of the pre-release playmat is Faria, those 4 characters on the side are all new. One looks very much like Shayla, but also doesn't.
Nope.
So, like, I don't know who that would be, but that is 4 new characters.
I'll also tell you something very important. As soon as it was revealed that Lilius was like a descendant of Lilius, like, why is this tying these things together? It doesn't make sense. I want a new character. I'm tired of these long family ties. It's just like Celeste is a descendant of Grisbalesta. Why? Why can't she just be a treasure hunter? She's cool.
Esta.
I don't know. It's just like I feel like there's so much. Yeah.
Yeah, got the Esta
Celesta,
families.
Gruz Balesta. Can't forget the Esta family.
Yeah, can't forget the Estas. Um,
Oh, never forget the Estes. That's what Dark Soul players say.
yeah, don't forget that Estes. So I will say that like big brain theory here, theory crafting is it does definitely feel like Rebirth of Legend is going to be taking us to what happens in the city of Verdant Green, Ataraktia, like when everybody was reincarnated after the time spinning stuff. Which would be very cool, right? Because that's a good way. That's
I
a
like
good.
that.
That's a
That's
good.
a good concept for like a mini set building
Yeah,
off of
yeah, like a
the
good.
lore.
Let's get a
That's
good
cool.
because it gives us like a cool like this is a closure to that story, like closed, and then
Yep.
we can go okay. Now we launch from that with new characters into new story. Like that to me is very exciting. I'm hyped. What can I say?
Yeah.
I'm hyped.
That's what I like. That's what I like to see.
So in your mind, how many boxes do you think you're gonna get of the mini set?
I think I put an order in for 4 of them.
Okay, so it's for those of you who don't know, the mini set who maybe aren't aware, mini set is 25 cards. It's 5 marvels, 10 supers, 10 rares. That's it. Each pack
And
is
do we have confirmation that it's all new cards, no reprints in
yes.
that one?
As far as we know, it's all new cards. 25 all brand new cards. 5 cards per pack, 10 packs per box, with an S1 ruler reprint in every box. So it's like a quarter Vingolf size little mini set.
It's what Ghost in the Shell should have been.
Agreed.
I'm gonna say that.
Agreed.
Because I really liked the concept of having a tie-in like that, but the fact that it was a full set was terrible.
Yeah. So you're going for 4. So that should get you 4 S1 rulers, right? And we average, so 4 S1 rulers, that gets you 200 cards. Because it's 50 cards per box essentially.
Yep.
With a set of 25 card size. Like 200 cards for a play set being 100 cards. If you perfect hit ratio, you should easily be able to get a full play set off of that.
Yep. Which is really nice, and the boxes are not very expensive if you have your source.
I think they're like 30, 36, 37.
Barely, yeah.
We're gonna have.
I think that's like MSRP. I think is like 36, 37.
Yeah, we'll have I believe pre-order links for both the mini set and the main set up this Wednesday for Odyssey games, so you'll be able to get that.
Honestly, the mini set's such a good way to get new players into the game too. It's
Heck
such a low barrier to entry. It's so nice.
For sure. I'm very excited.
And
you could
just build like you get the ruler out of the set. You just get like, all right, cool. Time to buy in a little bit of S1. There's a little bit of support there. I don't need everything. I could just kind of like mash this together.
Yeah. It's like a starter deck, but also a booster box. Like it's like both.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like that a lot. It'll be very cool. I'm actually considering the idea. So like again, I think it could be fun, and I might be wrong. I think it could be fun to do a pre-release of the mini boxes where it's just your pool is a box.
Yeah, and you get a ruler with it, so might as well.
Well, no, I mean, don't do that. Don't use the rulers.
I'd do that.
I'd do the draft ruler for sure. But you get 50 cards. You need to make a 20 card deck or 25 card deck. Go, like that might be fun.
Ooh, Joey Fuller had a really nice idea. Any way to add packs of the mini set to Drafter Sealed? If you're doing a Chaos Draft, just toss it in as another 5.
Yeah, for sure. There's that. The other thing too is the set, the mini set is a wonderful way for a store to have like prizing or like entry stuff. So that's the other thing that I'm really excited about. There is notably some issues with the supply chain in terms of participation promos. It hasn't been a super huge issue because COVID. But we're getting to at least in the United States, we're getting to the point where we're probably going to start seeing local game stores be able to open safely because of based on the state. I know that in Michigan, April 6th, every adult is eligible for a vaccine. So like that's a couple weeks. And then if a store doesn't have promos, like just crack a box of the mini set and give people a pack per entry, right? Pay $5, participate in a tournament, get a pack just for showing up, right?
Easy.
Like, dope. That sounds fun to me. Yu-Gi-Oh already does this. I know Magic already does this. Like, it's cool that we have a product like this that'll be relevant for 2 years that can be used for something like this. So very, very cool. Now we just need to get more than one print run. Maybe this is a set that, maybe this is the type of set that we could start to see being printed once per year, kind of thing. So it kind of just like keep recycles in. That would be kind of nice. We'll have to see how this first one goes.
Yeah,
I'm missing. I think the only participation promos I'm missing right now is I need 3 more Rhea, and then I need the new ones that were just announced: Hot Spring and Undead Lord.
my locals hasn't been doing anything for the past like 4 months, so I've got nothing.
Hey, because I just got Pharesias, and whoever was like, you know what? Let's just take all these daytime promos and shift them to being nighttime. I've been like, someone knows my aesthetic. Like,
and Rizard spell is purple, is like a reddish purple now instead of a bluish purple.
Yeah, and it's got that red moon in the background for some nice contrast. Like
contrast.
Yeah.
I just wish Font Machine wasn't broken.
Oh. Yeah.
Oops. Font Machine broke.
Oops. Yeah.
I kind of like it. It's kind of fun that they have a different text style than the other cards, but also they just put Arial font onto these cards.
Yeah. I will say so. I will say this. I'll hear your thoughts on this. Other than the font, I'm not going to talk about the font, but like seeing AO3 cards and now AO2 cards being brought as promos into the new formatting actually makes me like the new formatting more.
The new formatting is so nice for full art cards.
Yes.
Specifically.
Yes.
I've gotten over the new borders,
the new borders and stuff. Yeah, I think the more that we've seen the fact that art has been drawn to better facilitate the new borders, the less and less I've cared. But I will say, like, the new border for full art cards is so good. Like, the new formatting for full art cards is so good. Like, you compare a normal Pharesia full art to a promo Pharesia full art, and just is so much better.
Got a chef's kiss on that one, boys and girls.
Rhea, they should put back Uber Ruler as a chase case chase card besides the God Pack as a Boner Ruler copy of the case.
I'd be okay with that again.
I'd be fine with that. Like, Uber's,
it's a low priority though. Like it's whatever.
Like, Ubers and textures for me are so low on the totem pole in terms of like wanting. Like, I love them. Don't get me wrong, but like, I've got a lot.
Just win a tournament.
Hold on 1 second.
Come on. Oh no.
Like I have a lot of stuff. Like, these are metal. Let's see. There's an Uber. There's 3 more Ubers. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more Ubers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 12 more. Just look at that Chrome page. Get it more Chrome page. There's more. These ones are in Japanese. Ooh.
Ooh, fancy.
Ooh, fancy. You don't know fancy until you get to here. I'll show this one for the iMole fans. Look at that sexy Japanese Uber iMole right there. Just oof.
Nice.
Don't remember what it does. Need a translator to look at it, but man, is it nice.
Just remember what the picture does. It's fine.
Exactly. That's all I need. Just remember by the picture. Like Ubers are nice. Don't get me wrong. They are very pretty. But I think Ubers are one of those things where, like, once you have enough of them, their priority drops so low.
Yeah.
Like there are even some cards that I actually prefer the non-Uber version of them. Like, so that there's that too.
It's a specific kind of foiling that really, like, I sold my Uber DBV stuff because I'm like, I prefer these to be. I don't like having Ubers in my main deck, man.
I think do I have a Japanese Uber Sherry? Hold on. I think I do. 1 second.
Ooh, Holsheiser's is gonna cry.
I'm gonna try to find Sherry in this binder.
Ubers are gonna be its collecting bottleneck.
Yeah. There it is. Japanese Uber Sherry.
Ooh, Holsheiser's is gonna be on top of that thing.
I think he has one. Maybe not.
Maybe. Who knows? Dude, if you have one, blink twice.
Can we have a list of people who do fan art like what we've had in the past? I have a few ideas for a commission. Ostin Art is one. I don't know if Ostin. I do know that Ostin does have do commissions. Yeah. Mike, who is your person?
Oh,
Taylor Prince doesn't. Taylor Prince doesn't do commissions anymore
right now. Yeah. I hope soon because Taylor's work was really good. My artwork was done by Fuchsia Art, who I hope I have a link to somewhere on the.
Feel free to post it in the description.
Yeah, or in the chat too.
Yeah, in the chat. With that out of the way, there's Ostin. Actually, Osadin is in the chat right now. Go get artwork done by. We're currently saving up some money to get Osadin to do a piece for us for the channel.
This Fuchsia Art's Instagram.
So I need to do a giveaway. So here's what we'll do. Mike, I need a question. Something just a chill question.
Jeez.
Okay, I'll do this. You've seen. So let's talk about this. There are 5 characters in the new set, the main new set, who appear to be the rulers. There's very clearly Faria, giant redheaded maid mecha girl, Shayla lookalike, green-haired educational boy, and some kind of demon. So we got purple demon, green-haired educational boy, Shayla lookalike, super hyper mecha team made force go, and Faria. So of those 5, who are you most excited to find out about what they do? I'll give you 3 minutes to give me your answers so that we can do this giveaway here. You got 3 minutes. I'm setting the timer in 3, 2, 1, go. Give me your answers. I'm going to type them in. Just put them in the chat to be entered into a giveaway. CCG Prime. It is United States only because CCG Prime doesn't ship prizes like this overseas. But
sorry, UK boys.
Sorry.
Super Robot Monkey Team Hyper Mansko.
Yeah. Super Mary Robot Team Machina Force Go.
I hate it. Most of the time is a sucker for green. guy makes a lot of makes a lot of somebody who likes green.
I'm excited for the demon, to be honest. I'm excited for the demon boy. I'm excited for a good black ruler. That's not named Rezard.
Yeah, I'm into the blue. I'm always into the. I thought she was like a Gorgon character at first. It turns out she's just mermaid.
Yep. Come on, get your entries in. This is not a lot of entries. Got 25 people in the chat. All it takes, just put a guess. You could even say, I don't know. I want people to be entered into this panda giveaway.
Counts. Just write Valentina. Write Kiki.
Kiki's in the chat.
Kiki's in the chat.
Get in the comments. It's one of my favorite, like, super aggressive call-outs. Get in the comments.
Need some aggressive positivity. You guys are all great.
Huge fan of red. That's probably gonna be the Mecha Maid. Cardigath. I know that if it's not Shayla, Paul's going to be incredibly depressed.
Well, time for Paul to be incredibly depressed, I guess.
Yep. Well, I fixed golems, by the way, with Rena. The girl with nothing. You feel it's Charlotte, not Faria? I think it's Faria. If my theory holds true that it's City of Ataraxia, Verdant Green, it is going to be Faria, not Charlotte. Just because Charlotte also... Oh, there we go. Stop. Okay. And our winner is... Give me a number between 5 and 8. Actually, no, sorry. Give me a number between 5 and 11.
7.
1. Gosh dang it. Why do you guys always do 7? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And our winner tonight is... Osadan Art! Not only a wonderful...
Oh my god!
Not only a wonderful artist, but also a wonderful new winner of a panda deck. So congrats.
This guy's gonna get a panda.
So let's do rulerschoolcontent@gmail.com. Osadan, go ahead and email me at rulerschoolcontent@gmail.com with your address. And we'll get that to you. Huge thanks to CCG Prime for hooking us up with that to give away tonight. So, and if for some reason, Osadan, you're not in the United States, I have the list here. I know who to contact next. So, I don't know where you are at, but your artwork is wonderful, and we love sending prizes to people. So, with that though, it is 10:04. Our office hours are officially closed. It has been wonderful talking to you all. Thank you. Oh, but I put the answer before I knew it was USA only. So, oh no! No!
Oh.
Okay. Well then our next winner is Jerry Felix. Is the person who's next.
Yay!
So, Osadan, I'll come up with a good thing to send to you, buddy. Thank you for being willing to kind of go for there. But again, Gary Felix, you have go to rulerschoolcontent@gmail.com. Email me there so that we can get your address and we can get you your prize mailed to you. And check out CCG Prime with their awesome new buy list. So there you go. So with that, like I said, office hours are over. It has been wonderful chatting with you all. I hope you all enjoyed it. If we made you laugh, if we made you cry, if we entertained you for an hour, consider clicking that join button right below the video. It is the easiest way to join and support the channel financially, and help us get all kinds of cool stuff. You get access to wonderful perks like all of these beautiful Kiki emotes that have been spammed in the chat. Yeah, either way though, we hope you enjoyed it. All the new people who are just getting into Force of Will, so glad you joined us for tonight. We are here every single Monday night, and we'll be on this Wednesday for more Foul Wednesday, which we'll be doing more Cube. We might try Conqueror again, and I'm playing Moodstart Feasting, and I don't know what Paul's playing. Paul's coming in blind, so that'll be fun. So, until then, it has been myself, Demo73, and I've been joined by the beautiful Mike Rance.
What up, boys? Peace out.
So until then, class dismissed. Have a good night, everybody.